All right. Questions 10, 11, and 12. And my calculators is on the right. So now it's open. Ignore the ad. And we're going to focus on some basic percentage questions. And then we're going to tie it into the application of linear equations that we was working on in the past two videos. So let's go over something. I want to revisit how to convert a percent into a decimal and then vice versa, a percent or a decimal into percentage. Well, rather in this case, let's just go from percent to decimal. So you're going from percent to decimal. Now, percent means part of 100, such that 1% is one equally sized part out of 100 equal parts. But when you're converting a percent into a decimal, you're going to divide the percent by 100. And you're going to drop the percent sign. Drop percent symbol. So when I say you want to express 13.6% as a decimal, what does that mean? I'm going to take my 13.6. Let me write it. Take 13.6, drop the percent sign, and you're going to divide that by 100. And then you can calculate that, and that's going to give you 0.136. And that is the answer. Now, before I move on to number 11, look at the two. Make a comparison between the percent form and the decimal form. What do you notice? Well, you notice the percent sign was dropped, but the decimal is 2 units to the left. We moved 2 places to the left. So what does that mean? So also when you're converting from percent to a decimal, you can drop the percent sign, drop percent symbol, I should say. Let me erase this. Man, I'm messing up. And move decimal 2 places left. And of course, if there's no places that you can move to the left, you're going to put a 0 in as a placeholder. Going back to what we call significant numbers, also non-significant numbers, but that's going to be quite significant. Depending on how much it actually means. So I'm going to keep that trope when I answer questions 11 and 12. When I'm converting my percent into a decimal, I'm moving my decimal 2 places to the left instead of dividing by 100 every time. So number 11 says, bicycles are often on sale in September, which is my birthday month. The regular price of a bicycle is $165.95. With a 30% discount, what is the sale price of the bicycle? Round to the nearest cent. So we get a 30% off on the bicycle. The bicycle costs $165.95. If we're getting 30% off this bike, we need to first find what is 30% of the cost. So for number 11, we need to first find, I'm going to call that 1, what is 30% of $165.95. As stated in the last video, the word of is an indicator of multiplication. But we must turn our 30% into a decimal. So 30% as a decimal is 0.30 or 0.3 if you're using a calculator. And that's going to be times 165.95. Let's open up our calculator and multiply. So 0.30 times 165.95. Put 98 by accident. Let's delete that. And this is money. So I'm going to take two numbers after the decimal, and that's going to be $49.79. So 30% off really means that you're saving $49.79. So number two, to find the sales price, subtract $49.79 from the original price of $165.95. So $497. See, so now I'm getting tired. 165.95 minus $49.79. Don't want to do that in my head. I believe I can. That's going to be $26.16. I'm pretty sure that's not correct. I think it's $25.65. Let's just check it out. 65.95 minus 49.79. Yep, I was wrong. $116.16 approximately, depending on how the way your professor does it in class. It could be rounded off by a little bit. You can get 116.17, depending once again on the way it's rounded. But there you go. That is number 11 in a nutshell. And the last video that I'm recording on this evening, well, not even the evening, this is the morning, is going to be question 12. A camera costs $560. If the sales tax is 7%, how much tax is charged and what is the total price? Round your answer to the nearest cent. This is a two-part question. You must find the tax and then the total cost. So we know the tax is 7%, which is 0.07 as a decimal. The cost is going to be $560. This question is similar to number 11, except instead of subtracting for step 2, you're going to add, because tax is an increase. So step number 1, you're going to find 7% of $560. So let's do that. 7% is 0.07, and that's times $560. And I kind of know this one by heart already because these numbers are familiar to me. This is going to equal to $3.92. So the tax is $3.92. So that's the first answer. And then to find the total cost, we're going to add the tax to the original amount. So that's $560 plus $3.92. This is why you shouldn't do math in your head. You should use a calculator. I knew I did something wrong. This is $39.20. I lied. So I caught myself there. I had to think about it because I'm like, wait a minute, how can a tax be so low for an item like that? $39.20. And that's going to equal to $599.20. And just want to make sure that this is correct. Don't want to give anybody any false information. Yep, 39.2. Add that with 560. There you go. So there you go. That is percentages in a nutshell. But don't just close the chapter on percentages, because you're going to see this more throughout the review in different sections. But here you go. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.